Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode ever of Checkmate Patterns. In this series, I will always show you one specific way to checkmate your opponents. First, I will show you the very basic checkmating pattern, the backbone if you will, and then I will show you 5 different puzzles using said checkmate pattern with increasing difficulty. Just to give you a quick heads up, I was sick the last couple of days and I'm still not feeling 100%, so if you're wondering why I'm looking terrible, that's why.
She looks like an angel.
She looks awful.
No, okay, she always looks like that. It was not my fault.
So let's dive right in and let's have a look at the basic checkmate pattern. For this specific checkmate, we need a king on the back rank. It has to be restricted from going up. In this case, it's because of those 3 pawns, so the black king has castled at some point and is now safe behind these 3 pawns. And we also need a rook or a queen able to go to the back rank and deliver a check. So in this case, we have the rook going to the back rank, the king can't go up because of his own pawns, you can't take the rook, and you can't put anything in between, so it's a checkmate. Pretty simple stuff. Of course, this doesn't have to be a rook, it could also be a queen. And instead of the pawns here, you could have basically anything. You could have 2 pawns from black and 1 pawn from white, restricting black to go up. You could of course also have a bishop, for example, or none pawns from black at all, but instead have a queen protecting the 7th rank, and the rook giving a check, as it would be, for example, in the ladder mate. Of course, these 2 are interchangeable. So now that you've seen the basic checkmate pattern, let's go to the first puzzle. This one is pretty simple. It's white to move and mate. I will never say mate in how many moves, because in a game you also don't know if it's like mate in 5, mate in 6. You just have to recognize the pattern and execute the mate. So it's white to move. I hope you found it. Pretty easy stuff. It's queen to f8. The king is in the corner, it can't go up because of the pawns, the queen is delivering a check, you can't take the queen, and you can't move anything in between. Let's go on to the next puzzle. Here it's a little bit more difficult. It's white to move again, you can pause the video here. I hope you saw it. It's queen takes rook check. But be careful, this isn't checkmate, because the rook can still move in between. You have to take the rook, and then it's mate. Now you might think, it's not important that the rook was able to move in between, but it's very important that you see such kind of moves, because it could ruin your checkmate. Now let's go on to the next puzzle. It's black to move and deliver checkmate. Maybe take some time for this. I hope you saw it. It's queen takes rook on c1. Now you might think, what? I just lose my queen. But here comes rook to d1 check, and be careful, it's not mate yet. The knight can move in between, but you just take it, checkmate. Now that's what I was talking about in the last puzzle. Imagine for a second, this knight wasn't here, but here. So it could move in between on f1. Then it wouldn't be checkmate, you can't take the knight because it would be protected by the king, and you would have sacrificed your queen for nothing. So you really have to see these intercepting moves. But if you saw this, congratulations. Let's move on to the next puzzle. It's black to move and checkmate. This one is a little bit more tricky. You have to see what I call the stutter step mate.
Did I stutter?
Yeah. You check. The king has to move to the corner, only legal move. And then you sacrifice the queen to deliver checkmate. The funny thing here is, it would be exactly the same without this pawn. So if we quickly change the position to be the same as before, but without that pawn, you still can't go back to the back rank and deliver mate, because the rook just takes you, and if you take with the rook, I can actually show this, check, take, check, king takes, and you are just completely lost. So you have to give this stutter step check, where you would actually like to step to the back rank, but you're taking like a little step in between. The king has to move, and now you give check, takes, and mate. Now let's move on to the last and most difficult puzzle. It's black to move again, and really take your time for this. I will take a sip of tea because I'm still feeling a little bit sick.
Does this count as annoying?
And I hope you found it. It's bishop to g5 check. The pawn can intercept, but you just take it. If the rook intercepts, doesn't matter because this is checkmate. Or you could also take it. And if the king moves away, you check, rook takes, and checkmate. If you solve this, congratulations, you just solved a mate in 4. And I bet most of you don't solve mate in 4 every day. And that's exactly the power of the checkmate patterns. If you recognize the basic pattern, it doesn't really matter how many moves it is, because you see the pattern and you just need to puzzle together the pieces. That's why it's called a puzzle. Now, maybe the most common mistake here would be to put the rook on d2, thinking about the stutter step from before. But rook to d2 actually doesn't do anything. Like, I can just freely move whatever I want. I can go here, I can check you with the queen, I can do anything because it's not check. If this would have been a queen, the stutter step mate would have worked. Now, it's still the same basic idea. The king protects the square where I want to checkmate, so I force the king away. Now here we have a quick intercepting move, but it doesn't matter. I force the king away, you have to go, you can't go here because of the rook. So you have to go away, and then I checkmate you. It's the same idea as the stutter step mate, but just executed differently. That's why I showed you this puzzle specifically. I hope you're able to use the information you gained in this video for your future chess games. Thank you very much for watching. If you have anything to tell me about this, please let me know in the comment section below. And otherwise, I will see you hopefully in the next week with another video on chess or whatever.